The shocking truth about honey no one tells you. What if the golden sweetener sitting in your kitchen cabinet could be slowly sabotaging your health while simultaneously offering powerful protection against age-related diseases, and almost nobody is telling you the full story? Welcome. I am your host of the Senior Health Report. If you are finding these insights valuable, please comment below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Now let's move forward. For thousands of years, honey has captivated humanity with its remarkable sweetness and healing properties, with evidence of human honey consumption dating back to at least 7,000 BC, according to researchers who discovered beeswax residue on ancient Neolithic pottery. But as we age and become more vulnerable to various health conditions, the question becomes far more complex than simply whether honey tastes good or provides a quick energy boost. The shocking truth about honey is that it exists as both a potential therapeutic agent and a concentrated source of sugar that demands careful consideration, especially for older adults navigating the challenges of diabetes, heart disease, cognitive decline, and metabolic changes that naturally accompany aging. Research published in medical journals reveals that honey contains approximately 200 different compounds, including an impressive array of antioxidants such as phenolic acids and flavonoids, vitamins, minerals, amino acids, enzymes, and bioactive phytochemicals that distinguish it from ordinary table sugar. Yet this same golden substance remains approximately 80% sugar by composition, with a single tablespoon delivering 64 calories and 17 grams of sugar, which means the line between health food and sugar indulgence becomes remarkably thin. Studies from institutions including the National Institutes of Health have documented that honey possesses genuine antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, and antioxidant properties, with research showing that consuming certain types of honey, particularly darker varieties like buckwheat honey, can increase antioxidant activity detectable in blood plasma, potentially offering protection against chronic conditions including heart disease, certain cancers, and autoimmune disorders that become more prevalent as we grow older. The University of Waikato in New Zealand conducted research demonstrating that honey consumption improved memory function in laboratory animals compared to those not receiving honey in their diets, suggesting potential cognitive benefits that could prove valuable for older adults concerned about memory decline and dementia risk. Though it remains critically important to note that animal studies do not always translate directly to human outcomes, and large-scale controlled human trials examining honey's effect on dementia prevention remain limited. Research published in peer-reviewed journals indicates that honey's high content of flavonoids and phenolic acids may exert antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects that protect neurons and could theoretically counter Alzheimer's disease pathology by reducing oxidative stress and neuroinflammation, with one observational study following 2,893 individuals aged 65 and older, finding that after 5 years of honey consumption, dementia rates were lower than might otherwise be expected, though researchers emphasize this represents a promising hypothesis rather than definitive proof of clinical benefit. The cardiovascular benefits of honey deserve serious attention from older adults, as comprehensive reviews analyzing clinical trials have found that doses around 70 grams per day of honey, which equals approximately 2.5 ounces, showed beneficial effects on cardiovascular risk factors in both healthy individuals and those with high cholesterol, with research documenting reductions in total cholesterol, LDL or bad cholesterol, and triglyceride levels alongside increases in HDL or good cholesterol. Though these same studies emphasize that beneficial effects have been observed with lower doses of 20 grams daily in people with diabetes, making moderation absolutely essential. The glycemic index comparison between honey and table sugar reveals an important distinction that matters greatly for blood sugar management, as honey registers at approximately 50 on the glycemic index, while refined white sugar scores around 80. meaning honey causes a slower and more gradual rise in blood sugar levels compared to regular sugar, which represents a meaningful advantage for individuals monitoring glucose levels. Yet honey still affects blood sugar significantly in people with diabetes must carefully track their consumption and consult healthcare providers before making honey a regular dietary component. Research has demonstrated that honey's thick consistency and natural antimicrobial properties make it an effective cough suppressant, with studies from Penn State College of Medicine showing that honey reduced nighttime coughing and improved sleep quality in children with upper respiratory infections more effectively than common cough medicines. And these same soothing properties extend to adults experiencing sore throats and respiratory discomfort, making honey a valuable natural remedy during cold and flu season when older adults face heightened vulnerability to complications from respiratory infections. The wound-healing properties of honey stem from its ability to release hydrogen peroxide through an enzymatic process combined with its natural antiseptic characteristics, creating an environment that promotes healing for minor cuts and burns that become increasingly common as skin becomes more fragile with age. Though medical-grade honey products should be used for significant wounds rather than honey from your kitchen pantry. The digestive health benefits of honey include its prebiotic qualities that promote the growth of beneficial gut bacteria, potentially offering relief from stomach ulcers caused by Helicobacter pylori bacteria, and helping maintain healthy digestive function that often becomes compromised as we age, with the natural enzymes in honey assisting in breaking down food and absorbing nutrients more efficiently, which can prove particularly valuable for seniors experiencing various digestive challenges. However, the shocking truth also includes serious risks and limitations that cannot be ignored, starting with the critical warning that honey should never be given to infants under 12 months of age due to the risk of infant botulism, a rare but potentially life-threatening condition caused by bacterial spores that may be present even in pasteurized honey. And while this particular risk does not apply to older adults with fully developed immune systems, it underscores that honey is not universally safe for all populations. People with allergies to bee pollen face potential allergic reactions from consuming honey, particularly raw, unprocessed varieties that retain higher levels of pollen, with symptoms potentially including swelling, itching, and in severe cases difficulty breathing, making it essential for individuals with known allergies to pollen or bee products to consult healthcare providers before consuming honey and to seek immediate medical attention if severe reactions occur. The caloric density of honey presents a real concern for weight management, as the 64 calories in just 1 tablespoon can accumulate quickly when honey is used generously throughout the day, and excessive honey consumption carries the same risks associated with high sugar intake generally, including increased risk of obesity, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and according to some research, potentially higher rates of depression, dementia, and certain cancers when consumed as part of an overall high-sugar diet. The American Heart Association recommends limiting added sugar to no more than 100 calories daily for women and 150 calories daily for men across all sources, which translates to roughly 2 to 3 tablespoons of honey maximum per day if no other added sugars are consumed. And this recommendation applies to honey despite its nutritional advantages over white sugar, because honey remains fundamentally a concentrated source of sugar regardless of its additional beneficial compounds. The distinction between raw honey and commercial processed honey matters significantly for health benefits, as raw honey comes straight from the hive with minimal processing, retaining natural enzymes, antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, and bee pollen that contribute to its therapeutic properties. While commercially processed honey typically undergoes pasteurization involving high heat and filtration that extends shelf life and creates a smooth appearance but strips away many of the beneficial compounds that make honey more than just another sweetener. Darker honey varieties generally contain higher concentrations of antioxidants than lighter-colored honeys, with research documenting that buckwheat honey shows particularly high antioxidant activity, meaning the specific type and quality of honey you choose can substantially impact the health benefits you receive, making it worthwhile to seek out raw, darker varieties from reputable sources when incorporating honey into your diet. The research from Tufts University presents a sobering perspective that deserves consideration. As scientists there emphasize that while honey does contain more nutrients and bioactive compounds than most other sweeteners, the amounts present in typical serving sizes are not sufficient to make a significant difference in health outcomes, noting that to obtain nutritionally relevant amounts of honey's beneficial compounds, one would need to consume so much honey that the negative health effects from the concentrated sugars would far surpass any potential benefits from the other nutrients. This creates a fundamental paradox where honey's health benefits are real, but modest when consumed in the small quantities necessary to avoid excessive sugar intake, meaning honey should be viewed primarily as a slightly better choice than refined sugar rather than as a health food or therapeutic supplement in its own right. People taking medications that slow blood clotting should exercise caution with honey consumption according to the National Library of Medicine, as honey might enhance these effects and potentially increase the risk of bruising and bleeding, representing another example of how even natural foods can interact with medications in ways that require medical supervision and awareness. The question of whether consuming local honey helps with seasonal allergies remains a popular belief based on the theory that pollen in honey desensitizes people to environmental pollen. But scientific evidence supporting this practice remains limited and inconclusive, with health authorities cautioning against relying on honey rather than seeking proper medical treatment for respiratory allergies. Though the anti-inflammatory properties of honey may provide some symptomatic relief for coughs and throat irritation associated with allergic reactions. For older adults considering incorporating honey into their diets, the most evidence-based approach involves using honey as a replacement for other sweeteners rather than as an addition to current sugar intake, choosing raw, high-quality honey from reputable sources to maximize beneficial compounds while minimizing potential contaminants. Starting with small quantities to monitor for any adverse reactions or blood sugar effects, and maintaining total honey consumption well within recommended added sugar limits of 2 to 3 tablespoons maximum per day. The mental health and cognitive benefits suggested by research include potential reductions in anxiety levels alongside the memory-enhancing effects, with studies in animal models showing that honey's chemical composition may help reduce stress and promote better sleep quality, benefits that could prove particularly valuable for older adults experiencing age-related sleep disturbances and anxiety. Though again, these findings require validation through larger human studies before being considered definitive. The bone health benefits of honey derive from its calcium and iron content, minerals essential for maintaining bone density that naturally declines with age. Though the amounts present in typical honey servings contribute only modestly to daily mineral requirements and cannot replace comprehensive bone health strategies, including adequate calcium and vitamin D intake, weight-bearing exercise, and appropriate medical monitoring. Ultimately, the shocking truth about honey is not that it represents either a miraculous superfood or a dangerous poison, but rather that it occupies a nuanced middle ground where modest benefits can be obtained when used intelligently as part of an overall healthy diet, while excessive consumption or inappropriate use can undermine health just as surely as consuming too much of any concentrated sugar source. The key for seniors lies in approaching honey with informed awareness rather than uncritical enthusiasm or blanket rejection, recognizing that quality matters enormously, that individual health conditions including diabetes, allergies, and medication regimens must factor into decisions about honey consumption, and that the proven benefits of honey are real but modest when consumed in appropriate quantities that avoid excessive sugar intake. The most reliable benefits of honey for older adults include its effectiveness as a natural cough suppressant and throat soother. Its antimicrobial properties for minor wound care when used topically. Its slightly lower glycemic impact compared to white sugar, making it a better choice for blood sugar management when sweeteners are needed. Its rich antioxidant content, particularly in raw darker varieties that may offer some protection against oxidative stress and inflammation, and its prebiotic effects supporting digestive health and beneficial gut bacteria, all of which can contribute meaningfully to health and well-being when honey is incorporated thoughtfully rather than consumed excessively. For those concerned about cognitive health, while honey shows promising mechanisms in laboratory research for protecting brain cells and supporting memory function through its antioxidant and anti-inflammatory compounds, treating honey as a proven intervention for dementia prevention would be premature given the current state of evidence. Though including modest amounts of high-quality honey as part of a brain-healthy diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and omega-3 fatty acids, represents a reasonable component of a comprehensive approach to maintaining cognitive function as we age. If you are finding these insights valuable, please leave a comment below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform you of healthy habits as you age. Click the video above and discover the proven, step-by-step method that's already helped thousands of seniors reclaim the health and vitality they thought was lost forever. This video reveals the exact step-by-step method that has transformed lives across the country. Thousands of seniors are already experiencing renewed health, boundless energy, and the vitality they deserve. Their lives have been transformed, and yours could be next. Just watch the video in the upper right of your screen to answer the big question. As a senior, how do I regain my health and vitality?